The Northern Dragon King is dead. The battle that shook Dragon Island has ended. The ancient Void Dragon tribe can finally begin to breathe again. But Xiao Yan is not finished. While others process the aftermath of the catastrophic battle, Xiao Yan's mind is already calculating. He looks at the Northern Dragon King's destroyed body, that massive mutated frame that had devoured 2 Dragon Kings and tens of thousands of its own clansmen, and sees not a fallen enemy but raw material, specifically the raw material for the most powerful puppet he has ever attempted to create. He approaches Ziyan with a single request: the corpse of the Northern Dragon King. Ziyan is surprised but agrees without hesitation. Xiao Yan disappears into a secret chamber and seals the door behind him. What follows is 10 days of absolute unbroken focus. Xiao Yan opens his mouth and releases a cluster of pink purifying demonic lotus flame. It expands in the air, swells with terrifying heat, and transforms into a massive fire cauldron floating before him. He tosses the Northern Dragon King's body into the flames with a casual wave of his hand. The moment flesh meets fire, the surface of the body begins to sizzle and smoke. Remaining blood plasma seeps from the skin, then evaporates instantly in the scorching heat. For 10 consecutive days, Xiao Yan does not rest for even a single moment, continuously feeding the purifying demonic lotus flame into the body, maintaining the precise temperature needed for refinement without destroying what he is trying to preserve. Slowly, the Northern Dragon King's once massive and muscular frame shrinks by several sizes. His skin turns the deep, absolute black of iron. All the blood inside his body merges directly into muscles and bones, condensing into something denser and more terrifying than it ever was in life. Xiao Yan looks at the refined body radiating a naturally oppressive aura and allows himself a moment of quiet satisfaction. Then, the Northern Dragon King opens his eyes. That familiar scarlet glow returns to pupils that should be empty. A sinister laugh fills the secret chamber. The Northern Dragon King's remnant soul declares that Xiao Yan has been far too careless. He scattered the soul, yes, but he failed to understand that within the ancient Void Dragon clan, body and soul are fundamentally unified. His remaining soul had been hiding deep inside the physical body the entire time, waiting. With that declaration, the Northern Dragon King throws a punch that shatters the fire cauldron completely. He lunges toward the supposedly unprepared Xiao Yan with savage, explosive speed, his huge hand reaching forward in a killing grab. The smile on Xiao Yan's face does not change even slightly. He raises a single finger and points from a distance. The Northern Dragon King freezes mid-charge. Pink flames erupt from inside his body, surrounding him from head to toe, seeping into every crack, rushing into his mind, wrapping tightly around the remnant soul hiding in the depths of his flesh. The Northern Dragon King roars with shock and fury, demanding to know what is happening. Xiao Yan smiles and tells him the truth. Trying to hide a remnant soul from an Emperor Realm soul was never going to work. He had known about that hidden remnant from the very beginning. He had deliberately chosen not to destroy it, because that remnant soul was the key to creating something truly extraordinary. An ordinary puppet is hard and fearless, but it has no battle experience. It relies entirely on its master's constant direct control, making its movements stiff and mechanical. But the Northern Dragon King had survived countless battles, wielding combat instincts built over a lifetime of war, devouring 2 Dragon Kings, absorbing the power and essence of tens of thousands of clansmen. If that combat experience could be refined and fused directly into the puppet's framework, the result would not be a tool. It would be a killing machine that fights entirely on its own. Xiao Yan had deliberately scattered the Northern Dragon King's soul in a way that left precisely one remnant behind, a remnant that inherited all the cruelty, cunning, and battle experience of the original. Then he refined the body to its absolute peak, until the remnant, believing it had found its perfect moment, finally made its desperate move. It had walked straight into the trap. "Found you," Xiao Yan says softly. He waves his hand. The purifying demonic lotus flame surges forward in one overwhelming tide, devouring the remnant soul completely within minutes. That refined soul dissolves into strands of illusory airflow. Under Xiao Yan's precise control, those strands drift slowly into the puppet's mind and merge. The empty, lifeless eyes of the Northern Dragon King's body begin to shift. The cold metallic glow that appears is nothing like the scarlet rage of before. The once stiff body becomes relaxed, not weak, but with the terrifying explosive readiness of something that has been compressed to its absolute limit. Xiao Yan flicks his finger. A drop of his blood essence lands on the puppet's forehead, forming a faint blood seal. A feeling of mental connection blooms instantly in his heart. He names this puppet Northern King. Northern King responds in a cold, hoarse voice, "Master." This puppet is fundamentally different from every Sky Demon puppet Xiao Yan has ever created. Those earlier puppets required constant, active mental control. Fighting through them was like operating a tool. Northern King needs only a single thought from Xiao Yan to act entirely on its own. Its movements in battle are smooth, fluid, and completely natural, almost indistinguishable from the living Northern Dragon King itself. Its current strength already rivals 5-star Dosheng. But Xiao Yan is not satisfied. The Northern Dragon King's physique is extraordinary even by ancient Void Dragon standards, made even more monstrous by the absorption of 2 Dragon King's flesh and power. The ceiling of what this puppet can become is far beyond 5-star. To unlock that ceiling, Xiao Yan needs one thing: lightning powerful enough to complete the tempering, and he knows exactly where to find it. Xiao Yan briefly explains the situation to Cai Lin, whose eyes flash with barely concealed surprise at the transformed figure standing silently beside him, the black iron body bearing no resemblance to the Northern Dragon King the entire dragon tribe had feared. Then Xiao Yan leads Northern King into the empty void outside Dragon Island. Before them stretches the void lightning pool. Xiao Yan remembers this place well. The first time he came here, he had to move with careful, anxious precision, terrified of drawing thousands of lightning strikes simultaneously onto himself. Now, the ordinary lightning in the pool senses the purifying demonic lotus flame radiating from his body and stops dead in its tracks, hundreds of feet away, before quietly moving aside. He floats forward without obstruction. In less than 10 minutes, they reach the deepest region of the void lightning pool, where massive black lightning coils slowly through the dark like living dragons. Black demon lightning. This is the legendary lightning that appears only during the refinement of a Tier 9 treasure pill, a phenomenon so catastrophic it once forced the formidable Meng Tianqi, headmaster of the Inner Academy, into a desperate retreat. Even now, with the full power of his current cultivation, Xiao Yan cannot help but feel a flash of solemnity at the sight of these coiling black masses. But that solemnity lasts exactly 1 second before excitement replaces it entirely. As long as Northern King can absorb the power of these black lightning bolts, it will reach its truly perfected state and gain the strength to fight a 6-star Miesheng. An ally of that level, one that fights autonomously, possesses the combat instincts of the Northern Dragon King, and requires no constant control, would be immeasurably valuable to both Xiao Yan and the Sky Mansion Alliance in the battles ahead. Northern King steps forward without hesitation. The moment it enters the depths of the pool, the black demon lightning takes notice. A bolt thicker than 10 feet slowly coils above Northern King's head like a massive python, crackling with electric arcs, releasing a silence more terrifying than any thunder. Under Xiao Yan's command, Northern King raises one hand toward it calmly. The lightning does not retreat, it strikes. The instant black demon lightning touches Northern King's arm, his black iron body releases a deep, instinctive suction force, pulling the entire bolt directly into his body. His hair stands completely upright. Rings of black lightning wrap wildly around every inch of his skin, releasing sharp, sizzling sounds that echo through the depths of the pool. Xiao Yan watches with focused intensity. Then, relief and joy appear in his eyes together. He can sense it clearly. The violent black demon lightning energy rampages through Northern King's body for a moment, then gradually surrenders, merging into muscles, bones, and cells. The already dark skin deepens further in color. Muscle lines grow sharper, filled with a terrifying density of explosive power that the eye can barely process. It works. It truly works. More lightning gathers, and more. Xiao Yan shakes his head helplessly. They have attracted far too many at once. Under his mental command, Northern King stomps the void and fires itself like a cannonball through the pooling swarms, breaking their formation. Countless bolts of black demon lightning surge simultaneously, catching up, crashing into Northern King from every direction. Each bolt that connects is instantly absorbed. The impact of the force sends Northern King flying thousands of feet, but when the lightning clears, it does not have a single hair out of place. Xiao Yan clicks his tongue in genuine shock. Even an ordinary 1-star Miesheng would be seriously troubled by a single bolt of that power. Northern King simply absorbed them all and sat back down. Then, something unexpected, a thin bolt of black demon lightning, barely as thick as an arm, drifts over unconsciously and brushes against Xiao Yan's body. The purifying demonic lotus flame on his surface curls around it and swallows it before it even registers as a threat. But then Xiao Yan freezes. An unusually pure energy surges from inside his body, spreading through his limbs, his meridians, his bones, carrying a faint, deeply comfortable numbing sensation. The kind of energy his cultivation has been desperately starved of ever since leaving the demon flame space. He recognizes it instantly. The Nihility Devouring Flame's absorption ability, channeled through his fusion with Little Yi. On his shoulder, Little Yi appears, bright eyes snapping open, locking onto the swarms of black demon lightning in the distance. A trail of drool appears at the corner of its mouth. It wipes it away hurriedly, then opens its small mouth wide. A strange devouring force erupts outward, and more than 10 nearby bolts of black demon lightning are swept in like debris caught in a storm, swallowed in a single mouthful. Black electric arcs flash across Little Yi's tiny body. An even more powerful and pure refined energy floods into Xiao Yan in response. Xiao Yan stares at the overwhelming mass of black demon lightning filling the depths of the pool ahead, dense enough to block out the dark. The strength that had plateaued since leaving the demon flame space begins to slowly rise. For the first time in a long while, he can feel real, tangible growth pushing through his meridians. He raises his head. Blazing, uncontrollable excitement floods his eyes. In the eyes of others, black demon lightning is a deadly scythe. In Xiao Yan's eyes, it has become the most perfect nourishment in the world. He greedily licks his lips. All of this is his. Meanwhile, deep within the Hun clan, on an altar far removed from the battles of the Central Plains, a scene of cold, calculated resurrection is playing out. Hun Miesheng, the Hallmaster of the Hall of Souls, kneels on the ground before Hun Tiandi and the transformed human form of the Nihility Devouring Flame. The man who once made all of the Central Plains tremble in fear has been reduced to a faint, barely conscious trace of soul, carefully shielded in the palm of Hun Tianmo, a 6-star Dusheng of the Hun clan, as he rushed back across the void from the falling peak. Hun Tiandi looks at that remnant soul with eyes that carry no emotion whatsoever. He knows its value with absolute precision. This is the man who single-handedly built the enormous Hall of Souls, who laid spies across every major city in the Central Plains, collected hundreds of millions of souls for the clan's 1,000-year plan, and handled every operation too dirty for the Hun clan to appear in openly. To abandon such a chess piece over a single defeat would be a waste that Hun Tiandi simply refuses to accept. He orders the Nihility Devouring Flame to begin. A trace of reluctance flickers in the flame's deep eyes. Its source flame is the essence of thousands of years of cultivation. Losing even a strand of it means a very long recovery, but it obeys. The source power seeps slowly into the remnant soul, repairing the structure that the Buddha's Fury Fire Lotus had shattered, rebuilding an entirely new body from nothing. When the final strand of source flame merges, Hun Miesheng opens his eyes. He senses the power now running through his new body and his face fills with shock. His cultivation has broken through directly to 7-star Dosheng, more powerful than he has ever been in his life, and fused to that power, burning brighter than anything else he feels. A consuming, all-encompassing hatred for Xiao Yan that makes every previous grudge feel like nothing. He clenches his fists. One thought alone fills his mind. Xiao Yan will repay this blood debt, every drop of it. Hun Miesheng does not rush. He waits with patient, predatory stillness, watching for the precise moment that will give him the best possible chance to destroy the man who humiliated him, and that moment arrives soon enough as the Sky Burial Mountain Range becomes the stage for the great final battle between the Allied forces and the Hun clan.